Hello everyone, happy Sunday to you all. So pleased to have you watching this video right now. So once again, I want to welcome you to this episode of Wisdom for Singles, and I want to appreciate every one of us who have been following this video every Sunday and you've been sharing with your friends. I really appreciate, and God bless you. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, Solomon Ejekule, and turn on the notification button to receive latest updates from this channel. So today we'll be considering a very important topic. It's a continuation from where we stopped last week. The topic that we are looking at is praying for God's will in marriage. The Bible texts that we considered last week was 1 John chapter 5 verses 14. 1 John chapter 5 verses 14. And it says, "And this is the confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us." This is the confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. Amplified version, let me read the amplified version of this verse to us. It said, "This is the remarkable degree of confidence which we as believers are entitled to, that we have before him, that if we ask anything according to his will, that is consistent with his plan and purpose, he heareth us." So from this verse last week, we consider a very key word, which is confidence, that you must place trust in God as you seek to find a life partner. Now, there's another thing in this verse that is very striking and important. And what is it? It says, "If we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us." That is why the topic is praying for God's will in marriage. As many of us who have been praying, looking up to God for a life partner, it is very important not to jettison the will of God. You must seek his face. You must seek his will in marriage. As you pray, you must pray his will in marriage. The reason why some people are yet to be married, or they have been jumping from one relationship to other, is because they have been desiring the wrong thing. They have been pursuing the wrong thing. They have been after the wrong thing. They have been after the ephemeral, flimsy, and temporary things that will not keep the marriage standing. That is why God has not given them what they want. He said, "If you pray, if you ask anything according to his will, he heareth you." The reason why your prayer may have not been answered concerning whom to marry is because you are not seeking the will of God. You are not desiring the will of God to be done in your life, in your marriage. So, as you pray to God concerning a life partner, are you praying according to his will? If you truly want God to hear you, just like what the verse said, if you ask anything according to his will, he heareth you. If you want God to hear you, are you praying according to his will? Aren't you setting up some idols in your heart? Most singles today are praying to God concerning life partner. "Lord, give me wife. Lord, give me a husband. It's been many years. I've been waiting. I'm now 30 years old. I've been long in the market. God, you've not answered me. You've not answered me." The question is, all the prayers you have been praying, are you praying the will of God? Aren't you setting up idols in your heart? That brother that you've been looking at, you've been praying for the will of God in marriage, but there's a idol in your heart. The idol could be the standards that you've set up for yourself. The idols could be qualities that you've set up for yourself. You must be tall. You must be short. You must have 6 packs. You must be somebody who is very spiritual. It's good to have standard. Are you getting it now? It's good to have standard, but do not set up idols in your heart. The reason why you've not been receiving answers is because you're not praying the will of God. Not praying the will of God. The Bible says that ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that ye may consume it upon your lusts. See, the kind of marriage, what kind of marriage are you praying for? What kind of husband, what kind of wife are you praying for? Is it the kind of wife that is going to just to fulfill your lusts, for self-glorification, or to satisfy your fleshly desires? Is what your prayer revolves? You are praying amiss. You are praying wrongly. said, if you ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. So the secret to praying a successful marriage into reality is praying the will of God, praying the will of God, praying the will of God. So the question that you need to ask yourself is, what is the will of God for me in marriage? If the Bible tells us, if you ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. The question you should ask is, what is that will of God? So that I can start praying it now, so that God can hear me, as he has promised that if we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. So the question that you need to answer now is, what is that will of God? Knowing this will of God, learning this will of God, marriage for your life will guide you and change your prayer pattern. If you've been praying for, God, please give me a wife that is big, or give me a husband that has money, give me a husband that, if I've been praying all those kind of prayers, knowing the will of God now is going to change your prayer pattern, and it's going to guide you. It's going to guide you. So what is that will of God? What is that will of God? The will of God is in two terms. Is it principles or in persons? So we have the will of God in principles and the will of God in person. In terms of a person, we have the will of God in that aspect. So number one, we're going to address first the will of God in principles. The will of God in principles. The will of God in principle. And what is it? The will of God for your life is that the kind of marriage you must have should be a marriage between a man and a woman. If you are praying to God for a life partner as a guy, pray that God should give you a woman. Yes, there's some women that are what? That are men. So she might look like a woman physically, but in heart, in head, in attitude, she's a man. She always wants to lord herself over the man. She always wants to take control of everything. So if you are praying as a man, a guy, you are praying for the will of God in marriage. Pray that God should give you a woman. Yes, not a woman that will usurp the authority of a husband. You should pray for a woman that will be a mother to your children. Pray for a woman because that will be a helpmeet for you, because the purpose why God created a woman is that she should do what? Be a helpmeet. So if you are praying for your life partner as a man, pray that God should give you a woman who has the fear of God, a woman who is going to be a mother to your children, a woman who is going to be a wife, not a knife, a woman who is going to be a helpmeet for your life, that will complement you, a woman that is going to bring forth something good out of her life, to bless you, to bless her community, and to bless the world at large, because that is what women are meant for. They receive the seed given to them and they bring forth something good out of them. So if you are praying as a man for your woman, for your wife, pray all this kind of thing into what? Let it be part of your prayers. Pray the will of God. And as a woman, don't forget, the will of God in marriage is that the marriage should be between a man and a woman. And as a woman, you are praying for a husband. There are some men that look like women. They don't have the heart of a man. They are weak in the spirit. They are weak in mind. They don't have the heart of a man. So So if you are praying as a lady, you are praying for a husband, pray that God should give you a man that will be a head, that will be a spiritual head. Because as a lady, if you don't have a husband that is not a good head figure, the head is a very principal part of the body. If the head is not good, the other part of the body will be paralyzed, not be able to do anything. So as a lady, pray for a man with a good head figure, not a man that is like a woman that cannot see. Part of the characteristics of the head is to see, is to hear, is to smell, is to speak. So if you are praying for a man as a lady, pray for a man who can see visions, man who has a foresight, who can see the future, man who can hear from God, a man who can perceive, who is sensitive in the spirit, who is sensitive to things around him, a man who can speak, that can nurture you, teach you, and make you grow. So marriage is between a man and a what? And a woman. Monogamy is not the will of God. It's not the will of God. A boy marrying a girl. So if you are watching this video now, you've been having that desire as a girl to marry a girl, you are a lesbian. That's not the way. You have a brain to look for another beautiful girl to marry. I thought that's not the will of God. Or you are a boy, you are a man, you want to marry another man. That is not the will of God. will of God. Number two, purpose come before a partner. So if you have not found your purpose, you shouldn't be praying for a partner. Yes, if you don't know God's assignment for your life, don't know what God wants you to do with your life, you are still jumping from pillar to post, you shouldn't be praying for a partner. First thing you should deal with is the number one will of God for your success. If you want to have a successful marriage, is to first pray the will of God, which is knowing His will for your life, knowing His purpose for your life, knowing what He wanted to achieve, to fulfill with your life. Then, and if you found your purpose, pray that God should give you a life partner, that both of you will pursue purpose together. That should be your prayer point. You found your life purpose. You've known God's assignment for your life. Then you should pray that God, if you are looking for God, you are looking up to God for a life partner. Pray that God should show mercy to you, to give you a life partner that both of you will pursue purpose together. Because the Bible says that one shall chase 1,000, but two shall do what? Shall chase 1,000.